I hurt myself today.
She hadn't spoken in days. Her memory was gone. Her family were strangers, and doctors said she'd never come back.
And finally drank away her memory.
Then they wheeled her into her husband's hospital room, and this dying woman said 4 words that became one of the greatest country songs ever written.
But nobody knew how much she blamed herself.
Welcome to Nashville Rewind, the channel where classic country's greatest voices get the tribute they earned, and the stories behind the songs finally get told. These are 10 of the saddest hits in country history, but the songs aren't the sad part. The truth behind them is. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, Kathy Mattea, Where Have You Been? Kathy didn't write this song. Her husband did. John Vesner was a struggling Nashville songwriter, and this one came from his own family. His grandparents, Edwin and Olive, had been married for more than 60 years. Then age caught up with both of them at once, and they ended up in the same hospital, on different floors.
I'm just not myself when you're away.
His grandmother's memory was failing fast. She stopped recognizing family. She stopped speaking almost entirely. And down the hall, his grandfather was slipping away too,
Stood for her hand for life.
asking over and over for the woman he'd loved his whole life. So one day, John wheeled his grandmother into his grandfather's room, and this woman who hadn't spoken in days looked at her husband and said 4 words.
And she became
Where have you been? John went home and wept, then wrote it all down with Don Henry. Here's what most people never hear. Nashville rejected the song repeatedly. Publishers said it was too sad, too slow, too real.
a salesman's wife.
Kathy herself hesitated to record her own husband's masterpiece because she wasn't sure radio would touch a song about dying. It became her biggest ballad, won the Grammy for Best Country Song,
Was home each night by 8.
and made grown men pull their trucks over on the highway. And the wildest part is still coming, because the man at number 1 almost refused his song for the exact same reason.
But one stormy eve.
Number 9, Dolly Parton, I Will Always Love You. Everyone knows the melody. Almost nobody knows it's a breakup letter, and not a romantic one. Dolly owed her career to Porter Wagoner. His TV show made her a star, and he never let her forget it. But Porter controlled everything: her songs, her image, her money. When Dolly finally decided to leave and build her own career, Porter exploded. Arguments, threats, years of tension. So Dolly did the only thing she knew how to do. She went home and wrote him a song. The next morning she sang it to his face, and Porter Wagoner, one of the toughest men in Nashville, sat there with tears rolling down his cheeks. He said if she'd let him produce it, she could go. Here's the fact most fans have never heard. Elvis Presley wanted to record it. Dolly was thrilled, until Colonel Tom Parker demanded half her publishing rights the night before the session. Dolly cried all night. Then she said no to Elvis Presley. Years later, that decision earned her millions, when Whitney Houston's version conquered the world. But the sting never fully left. Porter later sued her for a fortune, and Dolly paid, because the song was true. She really did love him. That's the cruelest kind of goodbye, and the goodbyes only get harder from here. Number 8, Tim McGraw, Live Like You Were Dying.
Talking about the options and talking about
Tim McGraw grew up believing his father was a man named Horace Smith. Then at 11 years old, digging through a closet, he found his birth certificate.
I asked him when it sank in.
His real father was Tug McGraw, the famous baseball pitcher. Tim's mother had been a teenager when Tug got her pregnant, and Tug walked away.
This might really be the real end.
When young Tim finally met him, Tug denied him. It took years before the man accepted his own son, but they made peace, slowly, painfully. And then in 2003, Tug was diagnosed with brain cancer.
How's it hit you? when you get that kind of news.
He was given weeks. Tim moved his father into his own cabin in Tennessee and cared for him until Tug died in January 2004.
Man, what'd you do? And he said,
The song landed on Tim's desk almost immediately after, written by Tim Nichols and Craig Wiseman, who had no idea what he was living through. Here's the detail that gets lost.
I went skydiving.
Tim recorded that vocal while the grief was still raw, just weeks after burying the father who had once pretended he didn't exist. Listen to the recording knowing that, and it stops being a feel-good anthem.
And I went Rocky Mountain climbing.
It becomes a son forgiving his father in real time, and the next song was born from a loss so heavy, it took two broken men to write it.
I went 2.7 seconds.
Number 7. Vern Gosdin, Chiseled in Stone. They called Vern Gosdin the Voice, and he earned that name through suffering. When his marriage collapsed, Vern didn't just lose a wife, he lost his footing entirely. And he poured that wreckage into a song with co-writer Max D. Barnes. And this is where the story turns. Because during the writing, the song needed an answer. An older man's voice telling the heartbroken narrator that divorce isn't the worst pain there is. Max D. Barnes knew exactly what that worst pain was. His teenage son had been killed in a car accident years earlier.
You ought to get down.
The line about not knowing lonely until it's carved on a gravestone wasn't songwriting craft. It was Max describing his boy's grave. Two men, two different griefs, one song.
And thank your lucky star.
It won CMA Song of the Year in 1989, and Vern reportedly could barely get through performances of it without his voice cracking, which audiences assumed was showmanship. It wasn't.
That you got someone to go.
Here's what most people never learn. Vern Gosdin never became the superstar his talent deserved, spending decades watching lesser singers pass him on the charts. And he sang this song night after night knowing the industry had half forgotten him, even while calling him the Voice. Remember that feeling of being overlooked? It's about to destroy someone at number 6.
You don't know about.
Number 6. Brad Paisley and Alison Krauss, Whiskey Lullaby.
She broke his heart.
This duet about two people drinking themselves into the grave was considered too dark for country radio. Labels passed on it for 3 years. Nobody wanted a song where both characters die.
Spent his whole life trying to.
But the songwriter had already lived the first verse. John Randall was Nashville royalty for a moment, a Grammy-winning musician married to country star Lori Morgan.
Forget.
Then, everything collapsed at once. The marriage ended. His record label dropped him. His publishing deal evaporated. John Randall was suddenly a divorced, unemployed songwriter watching his own life burn down.
Him drink his pain away.
And by his own admission, he was drinking through all of it. He sat down with the legendary Bill Anderson, and out of that pain came a story of a man who never recovers from losing her.
A little at a time.
Here's the part that stuns even hardcore fans. The song sat unwanted until Brad Paisley fought for it, insisting it needed a female voice for the second verse.
But he never could get drunk enough.
And Alison Krauss, a bluegrass angel who almost never crossed into mainstream country, said yes. It won CMA Song of the Year.
To get her off his mind.
And John Randall went from dropped and forgotten to standing on that stage. The song about a man who never got his redemption became its writer's redemption.
Until the night.
And that's exactly why Nashville Rewind exists. This channel is built on one belief, that behind every classic country song is a human being who bled for it.
Put that bottle to his head.
And they deserve to be remembered for more than 3 minutes on the radio. If these stories matter to you the way they matter to us, take 1 second and subscribe.
And pull the trigger.
Because the top 5 is where this countdown stops being sad and starts being unforgettable.
And finally drank away her memory.
Number 5. Kris Kristofferson, Sunday Morning Comin' Down.
I shaved my face and combed my hair.
Before this song made him a legend, Kris Kristofferson was a janitor. Let that sink in. A Rhodes Scholar. a former Army captain who flew helicopters.
Stumbled down the stairs to meet the dead.
And he threw it all away to write country songs, a decision so shameful to his military family that they essentially disowned him. His marriage fell apart.
Cigarettes and songs that I'd been.
He lived in a rundown apartment, broke, sweeping floors and emptying ashtrays at Columbia Studios in Nashville, while stars recorded a few feet away.
Hit my first and watched a small kid.
That's where the song came from, the loneliest feeling a man can know, walking through a Sunday morning with no family, no money, and nothing but the echo of the life he'd burned down.
That he was kicking.
Here's the story almost nobody knows in full. Desperate to get his songs heard, Kristofferson borrowed a National Guard helicopter and landed it on Johnny Cash's front lawn with a tape in his hand.
Then I crossed the empty street.
Most men would have been arrested. Cash was so impressed by the sheer audacity that he eventually cut the song, and when he performed it on national television, executives begged him to change the lyric about wishing he was stoned.
Caught the Sunday smell of someone.
Cash looked into the camera and sang it exactly as his janitor friend wrote it. It won CMA Song of the Year.
Back to something that I'd lost.
And the man who'd been sweeping those floors became one of the greatest writers Nashville ever produced. But not every writer on this list lived to see their redemption.
That I'd lost somehow, somewhere along the.
Number 4, Hank Williams. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Hank Williams wrote the loneliest song in American music, and he wrote it about the woman sleeping in the next room. His marriage to Audrey was a war zone, screaming fights, separations, betrayals on both sides. Number 3, Vince Gill. Go Rest High on That Mountain. This song took 6 years to write, because Vince Gill couldn't bear to finish it. He started it in 1989 after his friend Keith Whitley, one of the purest voices country ever produced, drank himself to death at 34. Vince got a verse in and stopped. It hurt too much. He put the song in a drawer. Then in 1993, his older brother Bob died of a heart attack. And here's the story most fans have never heard. Bob Gill's whole life had been a tragedy in slow motion. As a young man, he was in a horrific car crash that left him with permanent brain damage. The brilliant older brother Vince grew up idolizing, spent the rest of his years struggling, in and out of trouble, at times drifting and homeless. While his little brother became a superstar and couldn't save him. When Bob died, Vince pulled the unfinished song out of the drawer and finally understood who it was for. It won 2 Grammys and became the song America Buries Its Loved Ones to. But the moment that defines it came in 2013 at George Jones's funeral. When Vince stood to sing it and completely broke down on live television, voice gone, tears streaming, while Patty Loveless held the harmony steady beside him and carried him through. Millions watched a man drown in the very song he wrote to keep others afloat. And if that moment was captured on film, the next one was a music video that became a funeral. Number 2, Johnny Cash, Hurt, 2002.
The only thing that's real.
Johnny Cash didn't write this song. A rock star did, Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails, in the depths of addiction and self-loathing.
The needle tears the hole.
When producer Rick Rubin suggested the 70-year-old Cash record it, almost everyone thought it was a mistake. Reznor himself was uneasy, worried it might come off as a gimmick. Then he saw the video.
The old familiar.
It was filmed inside the House of Cash Museum, which had been closed for years. Water damaged, dust everywhere, Johnny's gold records and memories literally decaying around him.
Try to kill it.
Cash was gravely ill, his hands trembling as he poured that wine and stared into the camera. And sitting on the stairs, watching him with a look no actor could fake, was June Carter Cash.
But I remember.
Here's what makes it unbearable. June died 3 months after that video was released. Johnny, who told everyone he had no reason left to stay, followed her 4 months after that.
What have I?
The video became his funeral in advance, and he knew it while filming. When Trent Reznor watched it, he said it felt like the song wasn't his anymore.
My sweetest friend.
Cash had taken his words about addiction and turned them into a dying man's farewell to everything he'd loved and lost. A 70-year-old country legend covered an industrial rock song and created maybe the greatest music video ever made.
Everyone.
There's only one story in country music heavier than that, and it starts with a man everyone had given up for dead.
I know.
Number 1. George Jones. He stopped loving her today.
Went half crazy. Now
By 1979, George Jones was finished. Not struggling, finished. The greatest voice in country music weighed under 100 pounds. Hollowed out by cocaine and whiskey.
oh, but he still loved her.
He'd missed so many concerts they called him No-Show Jones. He was bankrupt, sued from every direction, living in his car at his lowest, and hearing voices.
Hoping she'd come.
Nashville wasn't asking when Jones would come back. They were quietly asking when he'd die. That's the man producer Billy Sherrill dragged into a studio with a song about a love so permanent that only death could end it.
Back again.
And Jones hated it. He called it morbid, said nobody would ever buy it, and bet Sherrill $100 it would flop. Here's the fact that even lifelong fans rarely know.
Found love letters by
The recording took over a year to complete, not for perfection, but because Jones was so wrecked he kept singing the words to the tune of "Help Me Make It Through the Night" and couldn't hold the actual melody. The spoken part in the middle had to be captured much later, whenever Jones was sober enough to speak it clearly. Sherrill stitched a masterpiece together from the fragments of a dying man. It was released in April 1980
dated 1962.
and became the song that many still call the greatest country record ever made. It won CMA Song of the Year twice. It resurrected George Jones completely,
He had underlined and
giving him 33 more years of life and a farewell tour instead of an early grave. And in 2013, at his funeral in the Grand Ole Opry House, Alan Jackson stepped to the microphone and sang it over his casket.
every single high low.
Song about a man who loved her until the day he died finally kept its promise. George Jones lost the $100 bet. It was the best money he ever spent.
I went to see my friend.
10 songs, 10 scars, every one of them written by somebody who paid for it in ways the radio never told you.
But I didn't see no tears.
If one of these stories hit you tonight, tell us in the comments which one. And subscribe to Nashville Rewind, because the voices of classic country deserve to be remembered. And there are so many more stories left to tell. Thanks for riding with us. We'll see you in the next one.